Hello, students of Mattheum 1. Um, what a beautiful day. How are you? Are you staying home, staying safe, studying, reading in your spare time? Reading is the best thing you can do to learn spelling and vocabulary. I'm very excited today to see you. This is my home. This is where I live. And I'm so excited because today we are talking about animals. Animals. Do you see the animals on that chart? Do you recognize any of those animals? Do you have those animals where you live? Okay, so as I said, I think I'm gonna. No, I better put my good shoes on here. Oh, I can't. Okay. All right, I got some new shoes. They are a little tight yet. Okay. So today is excuse me for a moment here. Okay, how's that? Okay, good morning. Teacher Robert here. Today we are going to talk about animals. One of my favorite subjects. I love animals. I love animals. The first point that I want to make today is people are animals. Okay, we are animals. Very controversial, very different opinions, but we are animals. That's a fact. We are animals. Supposedly, by popular opinion, popular means most, believe that we are above animals, that we can think, and animals cannot. Animals go by instinct, things they are born knowing, like sheep. Sheep. You know sheep? Bah, bah. Sheep, when they give birth to their young, they eat the afterbirth, the leftover liquid and blood and things. They eat that. Do you know why? Because of instinct. 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 It means something you are born knowing. Over many years, sheep learned to eat the afterbirth to keep the wolves from following them and killing them and eating them. If they ate the afterbirth, the wolves would not have a scent to follow. A scent is something you smell. And animals have a very good scent. Dogs have 1,000 times better scent than humans. Okay? That's why police use dogs today to smell different things. And okay. Instinct, something you were born with. Humans, animals that we are, have instinct also. we are born with the instinct to survive. To survive. All animals have the instinct to survive, just like the sheep that eat their afterbirth to keep the wolves away so they can survive. If the wolves catch them, they will not survive. They will die. Okay? All right. Now, when we talk about animals, we are talking about almost every living thing. Almost. Well, maybe that is not the right word. Maybe half. Maybe half. Half of the living things are animals. Okay? The other half of the living things are what? Plants. Plants. Trees. Plants. Trees. Foliage. Plants. Plants. Trees. Trees are plants. Okay? So we have plants and we have animals. Okay. Today we are talking about animals. Okay, animals. Now, with animals there are actually two groups. Do you know what they are? Two groups of animals. Okay, we have vertebrates and invertebrates. Okay, I am doing the best I can here. Teacher Robert is not young anymore, and I'm bending over this table, and so animals, two groups, vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates have a backbone. Have a backbone. Okay, vertebrates have a backbone. Invertebrates do not have a backbone. No backbone. No backbone. Okay? So, humans are what kind of animal? Vertebrates or invertebrates? Vertebrates, right? We have a backbone. We have a bone in our back. We are vertebrates. Okay. Invertebrates. What animals do not have a backbone? Mosquitoes, okay, beetles, amoebas, single cell animals, jellyfish, mollusks, which are shellfish, they do not have a backbone. Okay, so invertebrates, there are many different kinds. Insects, mollusks, crabs, shellfish, okay, shrimp, prawns, okay, invertebrates. Okay. Now, I think focusing on that, on those two things, backbone and no backbone. The no backbone, I am going to let you think about. Insects, jellyfish, things with no backbone. Okay? Simple. No backbone, invertebrate. Okay? Now, Vertebrates have a backbone. Okay. I want to make this point very clear. Invertebrates, no backbone. No backbone, they're invertebrates. Okay, that's simple. So that's enough. Okay, no backbone, they're invertebrates. Insects, the other things we talked about. Okay, now, so we'll get rid of invertebrates. We know those are no backbone. Okay, vertebrates have a backbone. Okay, vertebrates have a backbone. Okay. Of these vertebrates, there are 5 kinds. 5 kinds of animals that are vertebrates. Okay, 5 kinds. So let's talk about these and what each one of them are. I will leave this up here. But my whiteboard is quite small, so I will do the best I can here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kinds of vertebrates. Okay. Mammals, reptiles, birds, amphibians, and fish. Okay. These all have backbones. Fish have backbones. Amphibians. Do you know what an amphibian is? An amphibian is an animal that is born in the water from an egg. And they are born in the water like a frog. A frog is born from an egg in the water, and it becomes a tadpole, kind of like a little fish, and then it grows arms and legs, or legs, and can go on the land. Okay, a turtle is another one. A turtle is an amphibian. Apparently it has a backbone. Anyway, it must have, because it is born from an egg, but I think it is born as a baby turtle. But an amphibian is born in the water from an egg and can later go on land, but must always return to the water to lay its eggs. Okay, that is what an amphibian is. Frogs, turtles, alligators, crocodiles. Well, wait. Alligators and crocodiles. No. Alligators and crocodiles are reptiles. Okay, it gets confusing sometimes. Amphibians are born in the water, can go on land, but must return to the water to lay their eggs. Okay? Crocodiles and alligators lay their eggs on land, usually close to the water, but on land. So they are not amphibians. They are reptiles. Okay? Reptiles are crocodiles, alligators, monitor lizards, which you have very common in Thailand, Komodo dragons, which come from Indonesia, and Komodo dragons are not monitor lizards. They are a form of a species of monitor lizard, but they are very different. Komodo dragons are huge. They are massive. Their diet consists mainly of deer. What are deer? Deer are swift. Swift is a word which means fast, fast moving. Deer are very fast. Komodo dragons eat mostly deer. One other thing is that deer are about the same size as a human being. Okay? So, if you are on one of 3 different islands in Indonesia, one of them being Komodo, where the name comes from, but since long ago, Komodo dragons have been found on 2 more islands in Indonesia also. So, if you are on one of these islands and you're walking slowly along looking at your iPhone, guess what? You might be dinner for a Komodo dragon. Oh yes, there are documented reports of Komodo dragons killing and eating humans. Okay. Reptiles. Mammals. What is a mammal? A mammal is an animal that gives live birth. Babies are born live. No, not from an egg. Babies are born live, just like humans. And the second thing is they feed their young with milk. So, we have already established, we already understand that humans are vertebrates, right? We have a backbone, okay? We are vertebrates. We have a backbone. Well, there are 5 kinds of vertebrates, right? We have mammals, reptiles, birds, amphibians, and fish. Which one of those 5 categories of vertebrates are human beings? Mammals, right? Mammals. We give birth live. We give live birth, not from an egg. We give live birth, and we feed our young with milk. So, we are mammals. That's simple. Live birth, feed with milk. Okay. Reptiles are snakes, alligators, crocodiles, cold-blooded creatures. Mammals are warm-blooded. Okay, that means our bodies regulate the temperature of our bodies to keep it, like humans, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around 36 degrees Celsius. Okay, where Teacher Robert comes from, we go by degrees Fahrenheit, but here we go by degrees Celsius. So human beings are about 36 degrees Celsius, okay? All mammals are warm-blooded, like us humans. Whales, dolphins, kangaroo, well, kangaroos are mammals. They're also marsupials. Marsupials mean they have a pouch. They carry their babies in a pouch. Okay, that's a marsupial, a type of mammal. So they always, every category, you can go farther and farther in anything. Language, animals, okay. Now reptiles are cold-blooded. Okay, cold-blooded. That means their bodies do not create warmth, create temperature to keep their bodies a certain temperature. What does this mean? This means if it is 20 degrees Celsius outside, a reptile's body is 20 degrees Celsius. If it is 40 degrees Celsius outside, a reptile's body is 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, that is why when it is warm, reptiles are very active because it's warm. Their bodies are warm. The blood is flowing good. They have energy. Okay. When it is cold, like in the wintertime, reptiles are very slow because their bodies, their blood is very slow. They don't move around too much. Where I come from, they disappear for 6 months, 8 months. The snakes go into the ground in a big ball all together and stay warm. The bears go into what is called hibernation. They go in their dens, their homes, and they sleep for 6 months. They don't eat, they sleep for a long time. That is called hibernation. Okay, now birds, there are many kinds of birds, and 80% of the birds in the world can be found in Thailand. Okay. You cannot say that where I come from. Where I come from, it is very cold. We have geese, we have pigeons, we have sparrows, we have many kinds of birds, but not as many as Thailand. In Thailand, you have a lot of birds, a lot of birds. Many birds are what we call water birds, aqua birds. Aqua means water, okay? Birds that feed on fish, on snails, okay? There are many birds who fish on who eat. There are many birds who prey, who eat small animals. Eagles eat small animals, even other birds. Owls eat small animals, rabbits, gophers, mice, rats. Okay? Storks, like we have here at my home, eat snails and fish. So all of these birds eat meat. Okay, many smaller birds eat worms. What are worms? They're meat. Okay. So mammals may eat meat, they may eat vegetables, they may eat both. Okay. Monkeys, gorillas mostly eat plants. Okay. Reptiles. Almost all reptiles eat meat. Okay, snakes eat meat, mice, rats, maybe rabbits, maybe big snakes like pythons, like you have in Thailand, may eat larger animals. Okay, so reptiles mostly eat meat. Birds mostly eat meat. Amphibians. Amphibians mostly eat meat. Fish mostly eat meat. Fish mostly eat meat. Sharks are fish. Minnows are. There are many kinds of fish that mostly eat meat. Now mammals like whales eat plankton, which are small, microscopic, the green in the sea that you see. Whales eat a lot of this, which are actually, in my opinion, meat. They're animals, they're meat, okay? Okay, let's see, let's talk about some other things about animals. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're okay. All right, let's talk about where animals live. Okay, let's talk about where animals live. Mammals live all over the earth and in the seas, in the water. Okay. Now, the earth is 75% or 3/4 water. Okay. And it is 1/4 or 25% land. So, do you think we have more mammals on land or in the water? I don't know. That's something you would have to look up. We have so much more water. We have so much water that a lot of it is yet unexplored. We do not know all of the animals that are in the water. We are still learning every day. We discover new life in different parts of the ocean with modern technology, because the ocean is deeper than the highest point on land. Now, the highest point on land in the world is Mount Everest, right? Okay. In the ocean, the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, a trench is a canal, a cut in the bottom of the ocean, a cut, a trench, a hole. Okay, the Mariana Trench is deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Then Mount Everest is high, tall, high. Okay, Mount Everest is very tall. The Mariana Trench is very deep. Okay. So we still discover animals every day. Reptiles. Where do reptiles live? Reptiles live all over the world. We even have reptiles where Teacher Robert comes from, where it's very cold. We only see these reptiles in the summertime. In the summertime. Remember, in, on, at? In the summertime. In, talking about wide spans of time. In the summer. In the wintertime. In 2021, okay, in 1900, okay, things like that, in. So reptiles live in all parts of the world, even where I come from. Not very many. We have like 1, 2, 3 different kinds of lizards. They are called skinks, salamanders, and skinks, salamander. Well, there's about 3 kinds of lizards, and there are really not very many snakes. We have small snakes. We do have one poisonous snake in the USA called the western rattlesnake. Very poisonous. And when you take the USA, you know, very big, right down the middle of the USA in South Dakota, North Dakota, coming from Canada all the way through the USA down to the South USA, where it goes into the ocean, is the Missouri River, a very big river. All of the west side of the river has the western rattlesnake, poisonous. All of the east side of the United States, east of the Missouri River, do not have rattlesnakes, okay? So we don't have many reptiles. You have a lot of reptiles in Thailand. You have snakes, you have lizards, you have crocodiles, many different kinds of reptiles. We talked about birds, where they live. They live everywhere. Some birds migrate. M-I-G-R-A-T-E. Migrate. A big word that just simply means they travel. They travel. Every year, birds migrate to the other side of the world, sometimes thousands of miles, to give birth to their young. Then, when the food runs out, like in the wintertime where I come from, the geese, all of the geese who have been there all summer, the wintertime comes, and if they have food from farmers' crops, oats, wheat, grain, corn, they will stay sometimes. But usually they are a migratory bird, which means they migrate. They go back home to Thailand. Okay. The next summer, April, March, usually February, March, April, when it's very hot in Thailand, the geese fly back to America to give birth in South Dakota. Okay, they always fly back to their home to give birth to their young. One other thing about birds, I don't know, that's not a bird, that's a bee. Anyway, big bee too. Birds, like geese, and I believe eagles, I don't know all birds, but I know for sure geese pick one mate for life. A male picks one female, or a female picks one male for life. In America, there are a lot of hunters. They shoot birds and eat them, you know. So if a male and female goose, if one of them gets shot, one of them dies, the other goose will not pick another mate for the rest of its life. A goose picks one mate for life. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Okay, now down to amphibians. We talked about they come from the water. They are able to go on land for short periods of time, but they must return to the water to lay their eggs. Okay. There are saltwater and freshwater amphibians. There are saltwater and freshwater mammals. There are saltwater and freshwater reptiles. Birds are everywhere, so they are saltwater and freshwater, and there are saltwater and freshwater fish. Now, one of the things I love about Thailand is your animals. You have a lot of animals, more than where I can come from. So about fish, you know, I think my last class, we were talking about sports. Thailand has many world records. Okay, about sports, number one, 2016 Olympics, Thailand scored first place. First, an ordinal number. Cardinal numbers are like cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, cards, you have ace, and then 2, 3, but 1, 2, 3, 4, that's cardinal numbers. Okay. Ordinal numbers, meaning order. What order? First, second, third, fourth. Okay, in the Olympics, first place gets a gold medal. Second place gets a silver medal. Third place gets a bronze medal. So in the 2016 Olympics, Thailand won first place, gold medal. In what competition? Badminton. If memory serves, if I don't forget, if I remember, the girl's name was May or Mai. I'm not sure. Anyway, Thailand won first place in the badminton competition. Well, in talking about animals, fish, did you know that Thailand has the #1 world record in all of the world, in all of recorded history, for the largest freshwater fish ever caught? Yes. And this happened not that long ago. You kids were probably 2, 3 years old, because I believe it happened in 2011. I think it happened in 2011, which would have been 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago. You are all 16 now. Wait, oh, sorry, you're M1. You guys are, let's see, M1. You guys are about 13, right? 13, 14, I think. Anyway, so you guys were, you kids, you children, you students were 2, 3, 4 years old when the largest fish ever caught in the world was caught right here in northeast Thailand in a river called the Mekong River. Have you ever heard of the Mekong River? I love that river so much. It's so big and beautiful. This fish is the giant Mekong catfish. And it was caught in the Mekong River in 2011, and it weighed, I believe, 346 kilograms. I have a photo of it I could show you, but I cannot right now. I cannot because it is on my iPad, and I am using my iPad to make this video. The giant Mekong catfish caught in northeast Thailand in 2011 weighed 346 kilograms. It took two Thai fishermen over 1 hour to land this fish. Land means to get it out of the water onto the land. To land a fish. To catch a fish. One last thing, we are running very short on time right now. This fish, the giant Mekong catfish, is an endangered species. Talking about animals, some animals have disappeared already. Where I come from, we had a lot of buffalo. They are gone now. The giant Mekong catfish is an endangered species. There are not many left. The king cobra snake is becoming an endangered species. So, in retrospect, retro means back, so spect, your perspective, how you see something, spectate, perspective, spect means see, okay? So in retrospect, in seeing back, for today we talked about the different kinds of animals, we talked about where they live, we talked about what they eat. We did not yet talk about how they move, and I would like to do that, but we are out of time today. I wish you all well. I hope you are staying home and safe, and we will talk again next time. Happy day from Teacher Robert. Bye-bye.